Welcome to English with Abby and Torai. I'm Abby, and today we will talk about the past perfect verb tense. The past perfect verb tense. We have another video where we talk about the present perfect verb tense, and we will link that in the description below if you want to check that out as well. But today, for the past perfect verb tense, the way we create this verb tense is by using the verb had plus the past participle. Had plus the past participle of the verb. Every subject uses had. Every one of the subjects uses had in the past with the past perfect tense. So in this first example, I had finished my homework. Had finished is the past perfect verb tense. You can see the had plus the past participle finished. Finished. This is a regular past participle because we just add ed onto the end of the verb finish. Had finished. I had finished my homework. I had finished my homework. And so this is an example of the past perfect verb tense. Another example, and then this will help explain more about when we use the past perfect verb tense, because you use the past perfect tense to describe an action that happened in the past, but before another action that had already happened in the past. And so you use it to describe an action that happened in the past before another action. Let me use this as an example. By the time we arrived, the movie had started. Do you spot the past perfect tense? The past perfect tense is here in the second part of the sentence, but we again have a past tense verb here. This one is just regular past tense. By the time we arrived, the movie had started. So here, think of it like a time machine. You're going back in time to one event and then a little forward in time to another event that is still in the past. I know it sounds confusing, but here. So the first thing that happened is the movie started. So the movie started first. And the second thing to happen is we arrived. So, but the whole sentence itself takes place in the past. So yesterday, by the time we arrived, the movie had started. And so the first event, the movie started, that's where you use the past perfect. It is the first event in the sentence. The second is we arrived. So now let's look at the other times or the other ways we use the past perfect along with some examples. These are the times or the other times that we use past perfect tense when we are speaking or writing. And the first is to show sequence in the past. To show sequence in the past. Sequence means order of events, which came first, second, third, fourth, and so on. And so when you sequence something or you're looking at the sequence, it is the order of events. And so we use the past perfect verb tense to show sequence, kind of like the example I gave at the beginning of an event that happened first and then an event that happened next, but all in the past. So our example here, she had already left when I called her. She had already left when I called her. The past perfect verb is had left. Had left. Left is the past participle of the verb to leave. Left is an irregular past participle. So she had already left, already being an adverb here, When you add an adverb to a past perfect or a present perfect or a future perfect, it goes in the middle of the verb. So here, she had already left when I called her. So now we have just the past simple verb of called. And so, again, like at the beginning with the example, the first thing that happened is she left. She had already left when I called her. So first she left, then I called her. The second way or time we use the past perfect is to explain cause and effect in the past. Each of these are in the past. So to explain cause and effect in the past. Cause and effect means that one thing happens which affects another thing or causes another thing to happen. One event causes another thing to happen. So here, I was tired because I had worked all day. I was tired because I had worked all day. The past perfect verb is had worked, had plus the past participle of the verb to work, which is a regular past tense verb worked. I was tired because I had worked all day. So this is showing the cause and effect. Because this person had worked all day, they were tired. The working caused them to be tired, or the effect of working all day was that they were tired. So they use the past perfect tense to describe this cause and effect. I was tired because I had worked all day. The third way we use the past perfect verb tense is in reported speech. In reported speech. This means that you are saying what someone else said. You are reporting what someone else said to another person. So here, he said he had never seen snow before. He said he had never seen snow before. So here, the past perfect tense is had seen. Seen is a past participle of the verb to see. It is an irregular past participle. He said he had never seen snow before. Never is an adverb. And again, the adverb goes in the middle of the verb, in between had and seen. He said he had never seen snow before. So here, this person is saying what he had said, and this person is telling someone else what he had said in the past. He said he had never seen snow before. And so we use the past perfect tense in reported speech as well. So now let's look at how to use the past perfect tense with negatives specifically. Okay, so here is how we make a negative sentence with the past perfect, and also how we create a question when you need to ask someone a question in the past perfect. So with the negative, we simply add not after the had. The not comes after the had to create a negative sentence. I had not finished my homework. I had not finished my homework. There are two ways you can create the negative with a past perfect tense. You can say had not, the two words had not, like this, had not, or you can make it a contraction and you can put the two words together using an apostrophe. So then it becomes hadn't. I hadn't finished my homework. So we shorten the two words together and create a contraction. But either is fine. I had not finished my homework, had not, or hadn't. I will say that with speaking, I and other native speakers are more likely to use a contraction just because when you are speaking quickly, it shortens the words. So, for example, if I said this quickly and normally, how I would in everyday conversation, I would say, "Oh, I hadn't finished my homework. Oh, I hadn't finished my homework." And so then hadn't is much easier to say than, "Oh, I had not finished my homework." So generally, native speakers are more likely to use contractions, especially when speaking. So it's important to know and understand what those sound like, especially when you're listening to native speakers. And then the way we make a question is by putting the had at the beginning before the subject. So the had comes first. Had you visited London before the trip? Had you visited London before the trip? So the had comes first and then the subject. Had you visited London before the trip? And then so the verb is had visited. Had you visited London before the trip? So asking in this question, asking before this current trip that they are on, had they done a visit to London previously? Okay, finally, let's do just a quick practice test to test your knowledge of the past perfect tense. Okay, let's do a quick practice before we are done. So you can pause the video and see if you can figure out what each of the past perfect verb tenses should be in the blanks. And then we will talk about it. So with the first one, by the time I arrived, they, the cake. By the time I arrived, they, the cake. Now, there are probably a couple ways you could go with this, but what I would say, by the time I arrived, they had eaten the cake. They had eaten the cake. Had eaten being the past perfect. Eaten is an irregular past participle. It is irregular of the verb to eat. Now, one note is that it's hard to know what is an irregular past participle and what is a regular past participle. There's really no rule. You just have to memorize which are irregular and which are regular. By the time I arrived, they had eaten the cake. Number 2, she was sad because her phone. She was sad because she had lost her phone. She had lost her phone. Lost being the past participle of the verb to lose. This again is an irregular past participle. And number 3, we didn't go to the museum because it blank early. We didn't go to the museum because it blank early. So we didn't go to the museum because it will always be had with past perfect. It had closed early. It had closed early. Closed is the past participle of the verb to close, and this is regular. We just add ed. It is a regular past participle. And here, because the museum had closed early, we didn't go. This shows a cause and effect. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful in understanding the past perfect verb tense. If you have other questions, leave a comment for us and feel free to ask. And we hope to see you in the next video.